we get a lot of people up, and there's such an opportunity to just work the ball across the box time and time again. You can work it across, ping it back, but because you've always got a passing option, you haven't got to overthink it too much. You can, I don't want to say spam the pass button, but effectively you can sort of spam passes in this formation. The 4-3-3 fifth variation, sometimes referred to as the false nine version of the 4-3-3, made extremely popular and innovated by Pep Guardiola in those famous Barcelona days. Formation that isn't often touched on in FIFA or FC24 as we now call it, but is extremely, extremely fun when you format this in the right way. Today I'm going to be showing you guys the best 4-3-3 fifth variation custom tactics, and then I'll show you some gameplay as well to show you how to get the most out of the formation. Let's get into it. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel already, but you are enjoying the videos, please do hit subscribe and turn the bell on. It really, really does go a long way and help me out. Anyway, that's enough of asking things from you. Time to give you guys the tactics. So the defensive style is balanced. Defensive width is 34, nice and narrow at the back, prevents those through balls. You're just going to manually move your wing backs if necessary to cut off the wings. Depth is a very interesting one. I put this on 62. Now, I tried lower and I tried higher. And I tried 69 for the depth, just to kind of have a really high line but not get the automatic offside traps. But I was getting caught out a lot over the top. So I tried it lower. I thought maybe we'll go with something like 55. I was getting pinned in too much. There was something about running this on 62 for this formation specifically that was perfect. Wasn't getting done over the top, wasn't getting pinned in. It was honestly the most perfect middle ground, probably the most essential depth for a formation that I've ever used. 62 for this is absolutely necessary and works wonders. I defend a lot better with this formation, with this setup, than I do with pretty much any other fullback. Getting into the build-up play and chance creation, we're going to be running long ball and direct passing. Now, direct passing is just because we want to play a passing game up top. It pins them back. It enables you just to basically work the ball in lines, which is really, really easy to do. Now, the build-up play originally was balanced, but the reason I've switched to long ball is effectively just in the build-up. For me personally, I just feel like there wasn't enough movement. There wasn't enough going on. It just felt a bit stale. I like a lot of movement. I like the AI to do a lot and give me lots of options. Long ball just lends into that. The only time I would not use long ball is if you're playing a formation where you've got people unbalanced, but they're people you do not want venturing out of their position. Long ball does have the tendency to pull people out of position, so only use long ball, or in other words, long ball is only effective if you're using a set of custom tactics where on the instructions, the only people not instructed to stay back are the people that you want moving forward. Offensive width, we're running this as narrow as 10, and now I'm actually surprised at how low this is, as much as you guys probably are. I started high, didn't like it, so I thought, okay, narrower depth is definitely going to be the way on this one, with the kind of, you've got so many people at different positions in the pitch with the false 9 4-3-3 that I kind of wanted them close enough so that I could work lots of little triangles. And I just kept putting it lower and lower and lower until when I got to 10, it felt spot on. So a lot lower than I expected it to be. I thought 30 was kind of going to be the sweet spot, but 10 is just where in-game, which is where it matters most, is where it worked the best. Players in the box, we are running with as many as 7. Like I say, I want lots of numbers up with this formation. We want lots of passing options. We want to absolutely flood the opponent on the offense with lots of passing options, always having spare men. So yep, 7, absolutely necessary for this as well. And then corners and free kicks, just go with whatever your personal preference is. Getting into the player instructions, we'll start with the wingers because they are a key component of how this formation works. So both wingers are going to be on balanced cut inside. So cut inside is the only instruction you do need to assign to these. No comeback on defense instruction. I just wanted out balls in the wide area so I could counter-attack faster, and it really didn't hinder my defensive shape for some reason. They do still drop when it's necessary, but for some reason having that out ball was really nice, and it just defends super well. So it's just not necessary. I really feel like it is the logical thing to do, at least to put it on one of them, but I don't know, it just works. So that's all I'm going to say. It works, trust me on that one. Getting into the centre forward, which is obviously your false 9, they're going to be on drift wide, and then we are going to put the attacking runs on false 9 as well. So the false 9 just lends to them dropping into the midfield and creating that kind of diamond in the middle, which basically just really creates such a midfield overload that it's really hard for the opponent to kind of always cut off all your passing options because you've just got so many. The drift wide, very weird one, but I just had this idea where I thought I would love it if my man in the middle could always go over to the winger of whichever side I'm on. So if I'm attacking down the left, and in this case Ribery has the ball, I would love it if Zico just tucked in where Ribery was for a quick 1-2. So I tried drift wide, and I thought it's going to do one of two things. He's either going to tuck into the winger that I want him to do, and offer a 1-2, or he's going to drift wide and go off to the other direction, like the opposite side to the way I'm attacking, which I didn't want. I tried it, and lo and behold, when you put on drift wide and you're attacking down the left, your man in the middle will pull out to the left and be there as a passing option, which is amazing for this formation, especially that we're running it on cut inside for the wingers as well, because you get the wingers making these inverted runs, and you've got your false 9 there right next to him just to play a quick 1-2, and you can get him behind like how Barcelona used to do back in the day, just effortlessly. You just drop it off with the wing at the false 9, just slots them in, and it works like clockwork. It's so good. So drift wide false 9 is an absolute chef's kiss with this formation. It makes it work so well. The left centre mid and the central defensive midfielder are both going to be on stay back while attacking cover centre, so they will operate basically like two central defensive midfielders in this formation when you're on the defence. And then your right centre mid is balanced, but he will be on stay on the edge of the box for cross. This man is basically there as a finesse shot threat. That is his pretty much sole purpose. He's there to drop the ball back to when you're attacking down the right, and you can whip a finesse shot with him. Now, what I will also say is, because our left back will be on during the attack overlap, make sure your left winger is also a finesse shot threat, because they will be cutting inside with their run type. You'll get the overload from that wing back, and like you can with your right winger to your right centre mid, with your left back you can also drop it back to your left winger who's cut inside and whip a finesse shot. So with your right winger you can drop it back to your right centre mid for a finesse. With your left back you can drop it back to the left winger for a finesse. So you've always got that option on both sides. So you've always got the ability to score from range on either side. It's just another thing to think about, and it is the most effective way to score from range in this game, so make sure you are utilising that. As I mentioned, left backs during the attack overlap. Your right back on the following side is literally just stay back while attacking. They're going to be your more defensive orientated right back. Someone like a Kyle Walker, a Cafu is perfect. Your overlapping wing back, Rolfer is amazing, but the likes of Flashback Davies, anyone with whip pass and pace is generally going to be good. Rolfer is actually surprisingly not got whip pass plus, but she's probably the one exception where she's just so phenomenal in this game that she can just do everything. She can literally boss the game. So Rolfer actually is competent enough despite not having whipped pass. But if you've got whip pass, that's excellent because it gives you the opportunity to do German crosses as well. Those real early crosses whipped into the box where you've got multiple people up to get on the end of things. As far as the centre-backs go, they're all just stay back while attacking, and then the goalkeeper is just on the default. For your centre-backs and goalkeeper, just go with literally common sense. You want the highest caliber centre-backs and a goalkeeper that you trust. As I show you guys some of these goals that were scored with the formation, just take really close notice of the ways that I'm getting in with this formation. A lot of this comes through the wingers. The wingers are definitely your star players in the team, and they're the ones that are going to be scoring you the most goals. Your false 9 hasn't got to be an out-and-out striker because your wingers are the goal scorers in this formation. Your false 9, I've gone with Zico, who I honestly think is perfect. You will obviously do a job with someone like an R9 and Mbappe, a Ham, but honestly, just like a really creative midfielder that is 5'5", that can finish and has pace, is going to be excellent. So it is a little bit of a niche, but if I just say to you guys, Zico is that type of guy you need, just go with something similar. A lot of you guys obviously probably do have Zico from the SBC, so if you've got him, absolutely just use Zico because he's phenomenal in this position. It really is kind of just custom made for him. You've got your two finesse shot threats. With these finesse shot threats, you're always going to have the opportunity to score from range on either side, and it keeps the opponent guessing. It just makes those 1-2s with your winger and your false 9 to get into the box that bit easier. And you'll also notice, because we've got that 7 players in the box, we get a lot of people up, and there's such an opportunity to just work the ball across the box time and time again. You can work it across, ping it back, but because you've always got a passing option, you haven't got to overthink it too much. You can, I don't want to say spam the pass button, but effectively you can sort of spam passes in this formation and get in, and it just enables you to just score way more authentic goals. You know, you're able to just work that ball really organically and just score lots of good team goals. Now, obviously, I will hold my hands up and say I'm big on the skill moves in this game, so you'll notice in a lot of these goals, I am utilising skill moves to sometimes create space and get shooting angles, but it's not necessary to get the most out of this formation. If you are a skiller, you're going to have an absolute field day with these, but if you're not, you're still going to have lots of success because there's too many passing options for you not to be able to get in. The way you basically don't use a striker, but you utilise your wingers as your goal threat, just basically makes it like you've got 4 centre mids effectively in a diamond shape, which just makes it easy to move the ball around. So This formation is completely catered to basically always have a spare man in the attack, or I should say spare men, people, women, whatever you want to call it, in the attack. You're always going to have players up. Always. There's multiple options. If you switch it, you're going to have tons of space to work the ball across again. It's just an absolute dream to play with because you haven't got to like really overthink it. You're not struggling to find the options when you're playing against someone that cuts off your options. There's always options there. They're not going to be able to cut off all your routes to goal with this formation, which is why I'm having tons of fun with it, and I hope you guys have tons of fun with it as well. If you did enjoy the video today, guys, I will link my custom tactics playlist in the description below for you guys to check out. If you did make it this far in the video, guys, as always, I really appreciate your time. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and turn your bell on. Take care, guys.